Hello, Martin. I'm John F. Kennedy.
Of course, Mr. President. I'd recognize you anywhere. How are you?
I'm good, Martin. How about you?
I'm fine, Mr. President. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, Martin. Call me Jack, by the way.
Okay, Jack.
You know, Martin, I tried to warn you that day in April of '68 when your life ended.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. I was looking down on you from up here, and as soon as I saw the rifle pop out of that window, I shouted, "Duck, Martin, duck."
Wow. That's really funny, Jack, because I heard that, but I thought it was one of my friends talking to me. You see, I had just asked him what we were going to eat for dinner, and I thought that was his answer. So there I was, looking forward to a dinner of succulent duck, and the next thing I knew, my life was over.
Well, you can't say I didn't try to warn you. I wish someone had done the same for me back in '63.
Someone did, Jack. It was me, Mohandas Gandhi. As soon as I saw the gun come out of the book depository, I shouted down to you, "Duck, Jack, for the love of God, duck." I guess you didn't hear me because of the crowd cheering for you.
No, I heard that, Mohandas, but I thought it was Governor Connolly in the front seat just joking with me. I saw that he wasn't ducking, so I thought, why should I duck? A second after that, I took a bullet through the neck. Believe me, that didn't feel too good, and you know what happened next.
You mistook my voice for Governor Connolly's.
Well, I've never been too good at distinguishing accents. Not having one myself, I guess I just couldn't tell.
Well, I did try. I just wish someone had done the same for me back in '48.
Someone did, Mohandas. It was me, Abe Lincoln. As soon as I saw the gun appear, I shouted down to you, "Duck, Mohandas, duck." I guess you didn't hear me because of all the people around you.
No, I heard that, Abe, but I thought that one of my apes had spotted a beautiful bird that he wanted me to see. You see, as Hindus, we are great appreciators of nature, and there I was, looking around for a beautiful duck when I was suddenly shot in the gut and I felt my earthly life drain out of me.
Well, I did my best to warn you, Mohandas. I just wish someone could have warned me back in 1865.
Someone did, Abe. It was me, George Washington. I saw Booth creeping up behind you and I screamed down to you, "Duck, Abe, duck." I don't know why you didn't hear me.
Actually, I did hear that, George, but I thought it was just dialogue from the play I was watching, so I didn't give it any mind. The next thing I knew, I was giving my whole mind, so to speak, and shortly thereafter, I was dead.
Well, I don't know what to make of all this, gentlemen, other than to say perhaps even the influences of heaven can't change the course of history. But I'll have to bring in a man smarter than me to help us sort this out. Can you come over here for a minute, Albert?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm Albert Einstein. Is there something I can help you with?
Yeah, Albert. We were just wondering why we couldn't prevent the assassinations of these 4 fine men. Is it possible to change the course of history, or is it all predetermined? Would you have any insight into that?
Well, I'll take a shot at it. Sorry, poor choice of words. I'll take a stab at it. That's not much better, but it'll have to do for now. This is one of the most difficult questions in all of philosophy. It is basically the question of whether we have free will. One school of thought would say no, we don't have free will. Everything was set into motion by the Big Bang, and everything since then has simply been a matter of cause and effect. Every cause can have only one effect, and therefore choice, or free will, does not enter into the equation. For example, if I were to take a ripe tomato and throw it at one of these walls as hard as I could, it must, according to the laws of nature, at least begin to come apart. It is impossible for it to remain in its original state.
Just as all of our bodies were devastated by the bullets.
That's right, Martin. I didn't want to put it that way, but your point is inescapable. Now there is another school that says yes, free will does exist, but it is based more on intuition than science. People in this camp say that we certainly appear to have free will, and therefore, we must indeed have it, but perhaps they forget the well-known fact that appearances can be deceiving. Still others would argue that even if we don't have free will, we must convince ourselves that we do in order to keep ourselves sane, but that construction in itself presupposes the existence of free will. It is conundrums like that which made me choose the hard sciences of mathematics and physics over philosophy.
I noticed that you used the word choose there, as if you actually had a choice about what field you went into.
Excellent point, Mohandas. You get a gold star in my philosophy course. But as I said, we must always keep in mind that the concept of choice may be an illusion.
So what's the bottom line, Albert?
Well, the bottom line, gentlemen, is that humans must act as if they have free will even if the scientific evidence doesn't support that position. It is simply one of the paradoxes of being human. And now I would like to paraphrase one of the great lines spoken by our colleague Martin when he said, "We will be able to speed up the day when black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Catholics and Protestants will be able to join hands in freedom." Now Martin left out a few people like Muslims, Hindus and atheists, but we all know that their inclusion was implied.
Amen.
Now we have achieved that unity up here in heaven, but it still eludes the complete grasp of the people on earth. The important thing, however, is that they keep reaching for it and seem to have a chance of finally grabbing that freedom once and for all. It will be then that they know the peace and joy that we know up here. It will be then that they find the long-sought-after holy grail of heaven on earth.
Amen. Amen.
Well, that was a very nice speech, Albert, but you know you could have referred to my line where I said, "Ich bin ein Berliner."
That's true, John, I could have done that.
Or you could have quoted my line where I said, "An eye for an eye only makes the whole world blind."
Yes, Mohandas, I could have done that.
Or you could have used my line where I spoke of the better angels of our nature.
True enough, Abraham. I could have done that.
Or you could have mentioned that I'm a Freemason, and that we are dedicated to the brotherhood of man.
Yes, gentlemen, you all are right, and you all had wonderful things to say about the ultimate unity of all humans, but let's not bicker as if we were still earthlings. Let us instead remember that spirit that urged us to call out to our brothers in their times of need and to try to protect them. Let us remember that even when we were not successful in our attempts to be the protector, it is that spirit which will ultimately lead to the salvation of all humankind and indeed, all life as we know it.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
By the way, it shouldn't take a genius to know what duck means.